Title: Fluffy's War on the Sands of Time. The caravan rolled to a stop on a windswept bluff overlooking Omaha Beach. Emma turned off the engine and sighed, her eyes distant. Omaha Beach, where history changed, she whispered. Meanwhile, I, Fluffy, mighty Tabby of destiny, perched regally on the dashboard, surveying the desolate shoreline like a battle-hardened general. The wind howled like a distant war cry, stirring something primal in my feline soul, or maybe I just sensed the weight of history beneath my paws. Fluffy, this place is sacred ground, Emma said softly. I sniffed the air. Sacred or not, it reeked of salt, history, and stories untold. The moment Emma opened the caravan door, I leapt out with the grace of a commando, landing on the cold sand with a satisfying thud. The wind lashed at my fur like 1,000 forgotten memories. I stared at the vast stretch of beige beneath my paws. My first thought, this is the biggest litter box I've ever seen. Someone's really committed to their cat's bathroom needs. Respect. Imagine, Emma whispered, staring at the vast expanse. So many soldiers, storming this very beach. I imagined it differently. Not just soldiers, but cats. History books rarely mention us, but we were there. Ship's cats, messengers and companions to weary men far from home. We patrolled decks, guarded rations, and kept spirits high. Unsung heroes with medals that history forgot. Emma knelt, letting sand trickle through her fingers. It's hard to imagine that something so peaceful now was once. She didn't finish the sentence, but I knew. I padded forward, claws extending instinctively. To Emma, this was hallowed ground. To me, it was a place where survival and duty had been etched into the earth, a place where even the air carried echoes of sacrifice. Emma walked slowly among the memorials, her fingers tracing the names carved into weathered stone. She placed a white flower at the foot of a monument, her eyes shimmering with unspoken emotion. I prowled behind her, taking it all in. Humans build statues and write books, but cats, we carry history in our eyes. Silent witnesses to every era, every war. I remembered tales from the docks, legends of Simon, the decorated ship's cat of HMS Amethyst, who earned medals for protecting his crew during naval battles. They gave everything, Emma whispered, her voice trembling. I paused, feeling something stir deep inside. The same fierce loyalty that drove those war cats burned in my chest. We might be creatures of survival, but even we know honor. A salty breeze brushed past me, carrying the scent of rust and old stone. It smelled like survival, of enduring against impossible odds. Near an old concrete bunker, Emma met an elderly veteran in a weathered military coat. His chest was decorated with faded patches and glinting medals, time-worn but still proud. He smiled warmly and shared stories of his comrades, those who didn't make it back and those who lived to remember. He spoke of long nights on ships, fierce battles and unexpected friendships, even with the four-legged crew members. Emma listened with rapt attention, her eyes wide. "Thank you for your service," she said softly. He nodded, his gaze distant. "We all did our part, even the cats." He chuckled. "You wouldn't believe how much we relied on them. They kept us sane and kept the rats away." I sat proudly at Emma's feet, tail curled neatly around my paws. Finally, someone remembered. He noticed me and smiled. "Is this your cat?" Emma hesitated, then smiled back. "He's more like my travel companion." The old man nodded thoughtfully. "Cats are survivors, always have been." His words echoed in my mind like an ancient truth. We've walked through fire and storm, through peace and war. We endure. Emma lingered by the shoreline, her eyes on the horizon. I sat beside her, letting the wind tussle my fur. "This place," she whispered, "it's more than just a beach." I understood. Humans see stone and sand, but I felt something deeper, a shared memory of struggle and resilience. Somewhere in the swirling tides, the stories of all who fought and survived lived on, including the forgotten felines. A small plaque caught Emma's attention. She crouched to read its inscription. "In honor of all who served, on land, at sea, and in the air." No mention of cats, of course, but I knew better. We returned to the caravan, driving toward the ferry terminal. Emma stared silently out the window, lost in thought. I stretched luxuriously on the dashboard, though my ears stayed alert. The road was desolate, yet at a rest stop near the port, a group of travellers approached. They waved at us, hopeful. I could practically hear their thoughts. Maybe this caravan has room for one more. Emma smiled politely but kept driving. She wasn't one to be easily persuaded or bribed. The caravan rumbled on. "Nice try," I muttered under my breath. "This isn't Cat Express." The ferry terminal finally loomed ahead, its cold, metallic structure gleaming against the grey sky. It felt like the gateway to another adventure. Emma finally broke her silence after a long pause. It's strange how time can't wash away certain memories, no matter how much the tide comes in. I flicked an ear. Humans, always waxing poetic. We boarded the ferry, the waves crashing against its sides as we set sail toward England. The wind carried the scent of the sea, mingled with stories untold. Somewhere in that vast, endless expanse lay the memories of forgotten battles, lost comrades, and even cats whose tales had faded into the shadows of time. I silently promised that the stories of war cats would never be forgotten, not while I still walked this earth, proud, fierce, and eternal.